Over the past decade, Isekai has proven to be the trend that isn't going away. Like moe, it may very well shape the future of anime in a very permanent way. Isekai is a subgenre of Japanese light novels, video games, and manga where the protagonist ends up being transported or reborn into another world. On the one hand, not all of these series ended up being as successful as one would hope them to be. On the other hand, there are those that not only meet the audience's expectations, but completely surpass them. In this video, we will look at some of the best and most popular isekai anime ever created. Starting off our list at number 10, Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online is one of the most popular and commercially successful anime in the isekai subgenre. Unlike the traditional fantasy world, this anime features protagonist Kirito being transported into a virtual one. After he and 1,000 other players are trapped in a virtual reality MMORPG, they must survive in the new virtual world or risk dying in real life. Sword Art Online follows Kirito and Asuna as they attempt to escape from the game, and then follows them back into other games they freely choose to explore. On one hand, the series has received mixed criticism regarding its pacing and writing. On the other hand, fans have praised it for its stunning animation, as well as its jaw-dropping fight scenes. With its international popularity, there's no denying that Sword Art Online is worthy of being on this video. At number 9 on our list, we have Konosuba, God's Blessing on This Wonderful World. Konosuba focuses on protagonist Katsuma Sato, who gets transported to a new world. What follows is a hysterical take on a newcomer's experience in a strange world, one he thought he already knew so well. When high school student Katsuma Sato dies, he gets two options: go to heaven or be reincarnated in a fantasy world that strongly resembles the video game he plays. An avid gamer who wants to experience the real version of his passion, Katsuma chooses the latter option, but instead of being able to fight monsters and demons like he typically does, he first has to work for a living. Unlike most isekai anime, the premise of this series focuses on Katsuma getting into ridiculous, yet hilarious situations. Even though his allies include a goddess, a knight, and a magician, things don't go as one might expect them to. The magician Megumin is obsessed with explosion magic. The Knight Darkness is a creepy masochist, and finally there's Aqua, who, despite being a goddess, is practically useless. While not as intense as other isekai anime, Konosuba is by far the funniest. At number 8 we have Inuyasha. Even though it's been almost 10 years since the end of Inuyasha, there are plenty of people that still see it as one of the classics. Inuyasha follows the story of a student from Tokyo, Kagome, who transported to another period, the Sengoku period. This happened after she fell in the well in her family shrine. After being transported, a demon tries to steal the jewel inside Kagome. However, the jewel shatters to 1,000,000 pieces and scatters around Japan. Inuyasha tells her quest to find the pieces of the jewel together with Inuyasha, a half-demon. In addition to 4 film adaptations, there's also the sequel series Inuyasha: The Final Act, which serves as the anime's conclusion. Overall, Inuyasha is an ideal isekai series, guaranteed to please anime fans from both past and present generations. Moving on to number 7, we have Gate. Gate is unique in that it's a two-way isekai. First, Earth is invaded by beings from another world when a strange portal opens up in the middle of Tokyo. Yuji Itami, who is just trying to get to a doujinshi convention, ends up fending off multiple invaders and saving countless lives. For this reason, he's selected to be among the group of people who are sent to explore the new realm. Their goal is to broker peace, but if they fail, they could trigger the biggest war that either world has ever seen. The series does an amazing job at blending both modern day and fantasy elements, and its use of a much older protagonist received popular reception from fans. In fact, the anime was so well received that it inspired a collaboration campaign with the real JSDF, which used characters from the anime to bring in new recruits. Coming up at number 6, we have Overlord. An isekai series normally consists of a protagonist being summoned into a new world to help save it. However, that is not the case with Overlord. After being mysteriously transported to another world, a gamer finds himself transformed into his virtual avatar, the Elder Lich Momonga. When Momonga's favorite MMORPG, Yggdrasil, is about to go offline, he decides to wait until the game's last moments and stays logged in for as long as he can. But when the game is supposed to shut down, it doesn't. Instead, the NPCs are coming to life and Momonga has become his character, the wizard master of the Dark Guild Ainz Ul Gon. With his newfound power and army of loyal followers, he decides to conquer the world. Even though the protagonist is far more powerful than any other character in the series, Overlord is anything but boring. With hilarious character interactions and frequent displays of Ainz's godlike power, this series is a must-see for any fan of isekai. Up next at number 5, we have The Rising of the Shield Hero. The Rising of the Shield Hero, which began airing during the winter 2019 anime season, is one of the hottest anime series around. It follows Naofumi Iwatani, an otaku who is suddenly transported to the world of Melromark to fulfill a mission. He must help defeat the waves of catastrophe that are wreaking havoc on the world, with the help of 3 other legendary heroes. Unfortunately, as the Shield Hero, he constantly faces discrimination from the people who summoned him. Things only get worse for him after his only companion, Princess Malti, frames him for sexual assault. As a result, he becomes a shell of his former self. From a kind, trusting person, he becomes cynical and distrustful of everyone. In addition to its intense fight scenes, this anime is also praised for its character development. Against all odds, Naofumi perseveres against hate and discrimination to prove what it means to be a true hero. Moving on to number 4, No Game, No Life. No Game, No Life gets to the point immediately with its name alone. While they are incredible gamers, Sora and Shiro lack the skills to accomplish anything meaningful in their life in the current world, and they're so racked with social anxiety that most of the time they can barely leave the house. Their lives change for the better when they get the chance to live in Disboard, a world where gaming determines every interaction and transaction. There, they become wildly successful beyond anything they imagined possible in their old world, achieving royal status and uniting the warring factions of Disboard through gaming. Considered one of the top 5 anime of 2014, this series offers a unique twist to the traditional isekai anime. Fans praise the series for its concept of using games as battles, the series' breathtaking animation, and the character dynamic between Sora and Shiro. Overall, this series is guaranteed to appeal to not just anime fans, but to gamers as well. At number 3, we have ReZero. No video about isekai anime would be complete without including ReZero. The series follows protagonist Natsuki Subaru, who finds himself transported to a fantasy world cursed with a terrifying power known as Return by Death. This power resurrects Subaru and reverses time up to a certain moment. When Subaru Natsuki goes out for a midnight snack run, he suddenly finds himself transported to another world. As a bewildered teen in a land of swords and magic, he wanders around and ends up being attacked by thugs. After being saved by a mysterious woman, he agrees to help her get back something that was stolen. Unfortunately, it ends in both of their deaths. With his dying breath, he finds that he possesses the power of revival, escaping his death by repeating the last few hours. Starting off with a light-hearted atmosphere, it quickly turns dark as Subaru finds himself dying in several brutal ways. Each resurrection gives him a new chance to protect those close to him. With its mesmerizing animation by White Fox, powerful storytelling, and cast of likable characters like Emilia and Rem, ReZero is often considered one of the best isekai series of all time. At number 2 we have Fushiki Yugi. Another classic on our video is Fushiki Yugi. Those who discovered anime back in the 90s may enjoy rewatching this series as it was first aired in 1995. While the art style and animation are dated compared to today's anime shows, it's still a good show to watch. Fushiki Yugi is the story of two teenage girls, Miyaka and Yui, who get transported to a world full of magic based on a book called The Universe of the Four Gods. They soon find themselves as enemies when Miyaka becomes the priestess of Sutsaku. The priestess who is destined to gather the 7 celestial warriors of Sutsaku, a god. Meanwhile, Yui becomes Miyaka's enemy as she becomes the priestess of Seiryu. Fushiki Yugi is one of the favorite shoujo anime of the 90s. With its magical girl focus, great jokes, and relatable characters, the series has held up in remarkable ways. And finally at number 1, the time I got reincarnated as a slime. The time I got reincarnated as a slime follows the story of Satoru Mikami, who, as the title suggests, is reborn as a slime. When a middle-aged man named Satoru Mikami is randomly stabbed on the street, he's reincarnated into another world. Not as a wizard, a demon, or anything else a person would hope for, but as a slime. Luckily for Rimuru Tempest, and that's his new name, he's not just any slime. He can absorb new skills from his environment and from his foes, giving him a seemingly endless array of abilities. While Rimuru could use those powers to do harm, he chooses instead to build a community and help others, just as he tried to do through his company job on Earth. With his newfound abilities, he quickly evolves into one of the strongest beings in the world. The series is often praised for its cast of memorable characters. Rimuru is especially popular, having been voted as the best anime protagonist of 2019 in the Crunchyroll Anime Awards. With the second season premiering this January of 2021, fans could not wait to see more of Rimuru and his friends.
Perfect.